Today is the start of a new series called Puzzle Piece. It's the start of a new series called Puzzle Piece. And this series is all about how we as Christians fit together in the big picture that God has for our lives, for the lives of people around us, and for the church as a whole. And today I'm kicking it off with a message entitled, What Shapes You? What shapes you? There, puzzle pieces. As you can see in the background, there's loads of little pieces. They're all different shapes. And today, my analogy is each of us are just like those little puzzle pieces, and God has used different things in our lives and in us to shape us to be the exact fit into where He wants to place us. So you ready to start? Ready to start? Yeah. Okay then. To start with, guys, I have a secret. Yeah. I'm about to tell you. Well, it's okay. You might know it already. Okay. Some people know this secret. Some people don't. But I have a secret for you. And here's what it is. Are you listening closely?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you sure? You're sure? Okay. My secret is God has a plan for each and every one of you. Oh. Yeah. That's right. That's true. God has a plan for each and every single one of you. It's not, it's not a secret, you already know it, but the thing is, some people in the world don't know that. That's what's really sad, some people don't know that. God has a plan for each and every one of you. But don't worry, God doesn't just leave you alone to carry out the plan. He doesn't just leave you alone to arrive at the destination that He wants for you. No. He prepares you for it. He prepares you for the plan that He has for you. I can see some skeptical faces. Do you don't believe me? Don't believe me? Let me read a verse for you from Jeremiah 1:5. Now Jeremiah was a prophet in the Old Testament, and this is what God told him. Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you were born, I consecrated you. I appointed you a prophet to the nations. Beautiful. There are a couple of church words there that I'll explain. That's fine. The first thing that strikes me about that passage is God says I 4 times. In that one sentence, He says I. He says, I formed you, I knew you, I consecrated you, I appointed you. So when someone says I, or me, you know they want your attention, okay? So the fact that God is saying I 4 times there, He wants our attention. So let's listen to what God wants us to find out about Him in that short verse. First of all, I knew you. That's quite scary. I think it's quite scary because it says I knew you. He's not saying that I know you now. He's not saying I'm going to know you. He says, I knew you. Before you were formed, before he was put together in his mother's womb, God knew him. He knew everything about him, and that's quite impressive. So, yeah, God, okay, you knew him. What else? He said, before you were born, I consecrated you. Now, that's a big word, but what it means is God set him apart for a certain role. So before he was born, God was like, this is what you're going to do for me. Which is quite crazy to think. Before we come out of our mothers, God has the exact plan that He has for each and every one of us, just like He did for Jeremiah. And last thing He said, I appointed you. Now, throughout our lives, we'll have different titles and different roles, and you might think, oh yes, I did it, or someone voted me in, so they appointed me. But no, God is in control. He appointed Jeremiah to be a prophet, and He has appointed you guys to do different things in your life. He is in control, and I think that's what He's trying to tell us in that short verse. When He's saying I 4 times, He wants us to pay attention that He's in control. He knows us, He has set apart things for us, and He's the one that will point us and put us there. See, God knew our personality traits and what we would be like before we developed them, and as we're still developing them. God knows that some of us are talkative, not looking at any individuals. No, I'm not going to name any names. I'm not going to look at any direction. But He knew that some of us are naturally talkative. That's our personality. That's our trait. But He also knew that some of us are more quiet and good listeners. Can't see too many of those. I'm joking. I'm joking. No goodnesses out there, no. God knew that some people are going to be good leaders. And that's great. Some people are meant to be up at the front, leading people and guiding people. But also he knew some people are good at supporting others, encouraging others, working behind the scenes, building people up, but not necessarily leading people, but still supporting the team. He knew that about us, about whoever of us that is. God knew that some of us are really confident and outgoing, kind of like walk in the room, hello guys, yeah, some people could do that, some people could do that. God knew that about us beforehand. But then he also knew that some of us are shy. Some of us, like someone else to come up and approach us to start the conversation. He knew that about us before we were born, like he knew Jeremiah. God knew the type of things that would motivate us. Some people are really competitive. I'll put my hand up and say, I like to win. Okay, I like to compete. I think I like to compete more than I like to win. I'm not sure. Let's have another go. Okay, I like to win. I like to win. Competition motivates me, I'd say, but some of us are like that. God knows what motivates us. Other people were motivated by our family. Doing what's best for our family, doing what's best for our loved ones, taking care of them. That's what motivates some people. Some people are motivated by knowledge. Some people like to know things. Some people like reading. They like studying. They're like, yeah, I saw that. You like reading. No, there's nothing wrong with that. Different people are motivated by different things. And the great thing is that God knows that. He knew that before we were born, before we were put together. He knew that about us. Are you starting to see how he knows what piece we are right at the start? He knows exactly what we're going to look at. As we're developing, as we're finding that about ourselves, as we're finding out what piece we are, he knew that already. And based on what he knew, he gave us all different gifts. Now I have a passage from 1 Corinthians 12, verse 7 to 11. It's a long one, so bear with me. And it goes, now to each one, the manifestation of the Spirit is given for the common good. To one there is given through the Spirit a message of wisdom, to another a message of knowledge by means of the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another gifts of healing by that same Spirit, to another miraculous powers, to another prophecy, to another distinguishing between spirits, to another speaking different kinds of tongues, and still another the interpretation of tongues. God knew what gifts to give each and every one of us because he knew what our personality traits were like. He knew what motivates us. He knew us, so he knew what to give to us, to equip us to carry out what he wanted for us, to carry out that plan that he had for us. When we're talking about God setting you apart to do something, he knew what we were like and he knew what gifts we were going to need to be able to carry that out. That's pretty amazing, don't you think? It's kind of scary as well. I think it's kind of scary, but I think it's an amazing thing. What's even better is, not only did he know what gifts to give us, he knew what talents to give each of us personally as well. Some of us can sing. Yeah, I put my hand up, I'm a great singer, okay? Especially when I'm in the shower, the hot water blasting, yes, grabbing the shower head, going for it, yes, thank you. No, yes, some of us can sing, some of us can write music, some of us can play musical instruments, some of us are good with technology. I am awful, technology scares me. Put my hand up and say technology is a scary thing, I can't understand it, I'm old. Even though I look very young, I'm older than I look, okay? But some of us have the talent to be good with technology. Some of us have the talent to be good at sports. There's loads of talents and gifts and abilities that we each have individually. And do you know what? God knew which ones to give us. That's all building a picture of who we are. Because God knew at the end, he knew what we would naturally be like, he knew what to give us. Are you understanding that God is in control, God is seeing, God is slowly shaping us into the piece that we need to be to fit into his big picture. Now in that verse I just read, two things strike me out. First, he says each of the gifts are manifestations of the Spirit, so that means it's the Spirit that's giving it to them, but it's given for the common good. It's given for God's plan, it's given for his big picture, his big goal that he has for the church and for people and for humans, That's why we're given our gifts, to fulfill that. But also, it repeats that it's the same Spirit, it's the same one God who's in control, who's given each and every single person, each and every single believer, their gifts and their talents. I think it's a lot to coordinate. It's a lot to keep organized. It's hard. Like, do any of you guys have younger siblings? Yeah, young siblings. Have you ever tried to keep track of all of them at the same time? Like in a park? It's hard. It's very, very hard. Have you tried to keep track of everyone here at you? It's very, very hard to keep track of everyone. This person going that way, this person going up there, this person going to the toilet. This person jumping up there, throwing that ball. It's very, very hard to keep track of just like, how many people are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm not joking, I don't need to keep track of you. Sorry, I trust you. But no, it's hard enough to keep track of the amount of people in here, but God keeps track of everyone in the world. It's really impressive, and also very, very hard, and very, very time-consuming, I would think. But He's God, and He can handle it. But He keeps track of all those people and all those things. What's even better is God took what He knew about us, and He took what He's given us, but He continues to prepare us for what He has in store for us, the plan that He has for us. And do you know how He does that? Through our experiences, through our lives. The situations we find ourselves shape us into the people that He needs us to become. God uses our family lives to shape us. He uses our friends. He uses the relationships that we have in our lives to create us into people that we need. So, I'll give you an example, okay? If God has planned for someone to be a leader, He might make them have loads of younger siblings so that they know how to look after people, they know how to take charge, they know how to make decisions, they know how to lead. You see how God can use that family life, that relationship, that situation in their life to help develop them, to help shape them into the person that He needs them to be. You might have also, God needs someone to be more confident, so He might put them with confident friends who help bring them out of their shell, who help them be better at being sociable, get better at greeting people, that sort of thing. That's God using the people in our lives and our experiences and our situation to shape us into what He has for us. And it's great, but God doesn't only just use the people in our lives, He uses the events that happen. So when there are good things that happen, we're happy and remember, like, yeah, that's great, I did really well in that test. I want to, if you did really well in maths, you're just like, yeah, I want to do more maths. I don't know who would want to do more maths, but that is, okay, Ryan wants to do more maths, that's fine. Okay, no, that's fine. But see, those good things He can use to make us think, yes, actually, I enjoy maths. I'm good at it. I want to practice it more. I want to get better. And I don't know if maths might be part of His plan for you in the future. So He uses the good times to help shape us and help direct us as well. But also He might use the bad times, which is what's really, really tough, because sometimes we go through situations and things happen to us that aren't very, very good and make us very sad. But God still uses those situations and uses us in that situation to shape us into who He needs us to be. We can learn through all the things that happen to us in life. I was thinking about it. That means life is basically school. If you think about it. Because we learn through life. We learn through what happens, what we go through. I'm not sure what the homework is, and I'm not sure what the exam is, but I think life is school. Yay! No, guys, you guys aren't loving school. I'll be honest, I loved school when I was younger. Absolutely loved it. I was like, yeah, learning, more of it. But no, life is basically just a series of learning experiences and learning situations for us. So life is school. Life is a huge learning experience for us. And God can use what happens in our life to shape us into the puzzle piece that we need to be. God even uses our deepest desires to shape us into people that we need to be. And there's something called holy discontent. That's a big Christian word. I'll spit it up. So holy means something that's sacred, something that's clean, and that's pure. And discontent is when you're unhappy with a situation or when something makes you sad. And what holy discontent is, there are certain things that each of us have that really, really upset us. You know, certain things that you just can't stand to see that make you really, really angry. You know, for some people, they can't stand to see animals being mistreated. For some people, they can't stand to see children being mistreated. For some people, they can't stand to see sort of domestic abuse in relationships and things like that. There's certain things, certain passions that we have deep inside us that we just can't, it affects us very, very strongly. And God can use those desires, those feelings, those passions to shape us into people that we need to be, to direct us and help focus our energy and help focus us and channel us into that peace that He needs for His common good. And that's, I'm not sure if that's a scary thing or if that should make us happy. Because on the one hand, it's like, yeah, God is in control. Like, you might not know where things are headed, you might not know what's happening, but God is in control. You can trust that He's put you in your situation with your friends, in those events in your life, and He's using that to prepare you for what He has coming for you. So on one hand, it's good, but also it's quite scary. It's like, oh, I'm not sure if I can do it, I'm not sure if I can, I don't know what God's planning for me, I don't know where we're heading. It can be quite overwhelming, but the great thing is, as we can see, God is there with us through every single step, through everything that's happening. He's there with us, orchestrating our situations to help us through, to help give us the strength that we're going to need in the end to do what He's planned for us. So I think, don't be afraid. It's a good thing that God is in control, that God is using the situation, that God is shaping you to be His puzzle piece. Now I want you to go away this week, have a challenge for you, and think about all the different gifts that you have, all the different talents that you have, maybe some of your personality traits, maybe some of the good personality traits, and maybe some of the personality traits that we need to work on. Maybe someday. But think about the sort of person that you are, or the sort of person that you're becoming, and really look for how God is shaping you, how things in your life, things that you're going through, things that you're feeling, you're experiencing, are helping you become a different person, helping you become the person that you are, helping you realize who you are, and look for God in that situation, because it is God, like He said with the I. God is in control. God knows. He concentrates, so He sets apart, and He will appoint you when the time comes to be in that role that He needs you to be.